Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain. I can't complain. It's a good Thursday. I'm in a good
Yes,
mood. You know
yes.
what I'm
Tomorrow's
saying?
Friday. The weekend is here.
Exactly. Well,
Yes,
first I want to congratulate you. The new album 1013.
yes.
It's
Thank you.
crazy. Yeah, it's a
Thank
week.
you.
What? A week tomorrow. It's been released for a full week.
Yes, yes. Tomorrow. Yes, it's the birthday of the album. 1 week. Yes, it's been
Yeah,
out for 1 week. Yeah.
yeah. But first I wanted to ask you, like,
Mhm.
how does it feel to have a full body of work, like an album
Yeah. Yeah,
out
yeah. I
again?
mean, I've been running from this for a while, so yeah. I mean, it feels amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it feels good. I'm very proud of it. I took my time with it. I selected the records on there. We recorded a lot, and I'm excited about it. I'm just excited for this whole new chapter of just life. Period. Like yeah, the music, the new, just there's a lot of new shit going on for everybody in the world today.
Yeah,
So, I was like, what perfect time to just drop an album and, just reinvent, why not?
exactly. Well, no, one thing I want
Yes.
to ask you first. I love the cover art. So tell me,
Oh,
like, what
thank
was the
you.
inspiration? Yeah, because I love
Thank
it. I like
you.
the vibe of it. I like the coloring, the colors you
Yes.
used. Super
I mean,
dope.
well, pretty much shout out to my boo, Local Ninja. He, I had him come over. He came to the house. I let him hear the music, and he was like, girl, we got to do a photo shoot." And I'm like, all right, but I don't feel ready." And he's like, "We got to do a photo shoot." He came with his camera. We just started taking pictures, and I'm gonna tell you, by the time we got to this set of pictures, he was tapped out, 2 bottles of Pinot in, right? And he was done. So I seen he was tired and he was already overtaking pictures of me. And those were the best ones. They came out so fire. Like I literally was holding my own lighter. Okay? So
Uh
and people were like, "I thought it was a selfie." Like, no, boo, it was not a selfie.
huh.
I literally was holding my own lighter, because things were not working for us and it was just dope. So looking at it and I was like, I don't know, I just feel this picture for some reason. Like it's like simple but it's strong, and
Yes.
I sent it to shout out to Kosian who he put me onto this artwork, this lady who does this dope artwork. So I hit her up and I sent her 3 pictures and this one is the one she chose. They were all from the same look and I kind of sent her some examples of the feeling of the strength that I wanted on it. And she just took that and ran with it. And when she sent me this back, I'm not gonna lie, the picture originally is blue. I was
Oh,
alarmed. I
okay.
was like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is too bright. Like, what is this?" And I actually changed it a few times. And then after I said, you know what? The way it alarmed me, I wanted to alarm people. I want people to feel like, oh, it's right in your face. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just, we went with it and that was that. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all killed it. Like, it's a
Yeah, no, it
super
was
dope cover.
Yeah, it's definitely I feel the strength in it when I look at it, it feels strong.
Yeah.
So
And
she
it's
did her
hard
thing on
today.
it. Yeah,
It's
she did
hard
her
with
thing.
covers today, I feel. Like, you don't see strong covers, and that one's like a statement. Like,
Yes,
I
yes. It's
love
like,
that.
just standing there strong, holding your head up, regardless of whatever. You just gotta
Hmm.
be that's it, and be you. Like it's like me telling myself it's okay. Put this album out, don't have no fear, like giving myself the pep talk and everything. So
Yeah, I
yes.
love it. I love it. And I know you
Mhm.
had a listening party for close family and friends in
Oh
Spanish
yes, yes,
Harlem. How was that? Because
yes,
I was looking at the
yes.
videos and pictures you posted. How was
I
that?
mean
Just
that
getting the
that
reaction.
that was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. The whole vibe of it was exactly what I wanted. I just wanted people to feel comfortable to not come in because sometimes we go to parties and I'm just such a around the way girl. I'm just a normal person. So sometimes you can walk into a space and not that I feel intimidated, but the vibe is just not easygoing and flowing and that I could just relax and have a good time here. That's how I wanted it to feel. And that's how I want the people to feel the music. Like their guard is not up. They're not feeling like they're uncomfortable. They're having drinks, they're eating, just almost like a block party.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much a block party on a roof. So that's how it felt. And it
Yeah.
was great. It was a great turnout. yeah, the vibe, the energy, everything was there, you know, and the family was there. So it was great.
Yeah, that's love. That's love. And like I know you've always been a dope songwriter and you've written all your stuff. So
Yes.
like how much does that mean to you to just really, you know, because I know sometimes, you know, artists do have songs written for them that they can relate to and they still
Yes.
put it
Yes.
on an album, but you
Yeah.
like to songwrite and really get in the studio. So how important is that
Yeah.
to you?
I mean, it's extremely important because I gotta feel it. You
Yeah.
know, like I have to feel it. And once I hear a beat, and sometimes I write a song with no beat, and I'll sing the record or hum the melody to the producer, and then bang, he starts doing the beat. You know, and we'll take it from there. So I think, I mean, for me to be able to express myself, it's important just because that's how I started. You
Yeah.
know, I do respect artists that even if you don't write your music, if you could perform the hell out of it and you make people feel it, and you're still an artist. You know, they're vocalists that do these amazing vocal Olympics and shit. That's great, but you know, that's all good. Like, but I know where my strength is, and it started with writing. You know, so that's why it's always important for me to get in there and talk about the things I want to talk about, feel the music how I feel it, you know, and melodies is just so fun and important, and
Yeah.
I think we on this project, you know, me working with Ibrahim, the producer, like he's just so dope, you know. So we were able to just try all these little things with sounds and like things that I really, it was a different way to work, you know, and a different type of producer. Every producer I've worked with was different and amazing, but he definitely wasn't scared to try these odd things. And this is why I think there's so much candy on these records, you know, like there's little sounds that you might not catch the first time, but you know, maybe the fifth time around, and then you forget about it if you're on the edible or something. You're like, whoa, what is this?
Because it's a vibe. That's what I know.
Yes.
Like, that's one thing I have to say. That was my next question. The producers you worked
Okay.
with,
Yeah.
Ibrahim and Mike Street. Like, I'm not gonna
Yes.
lie, the Ibrahim tracks, I'm
Yes.
obsessed with. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
they
Yes.
are vibes. I love Addicted, Time.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
Freya. I love
Yes.
hold on, what Tokyo Remix.
Oh,
Like,
Tokyo. Yes.
yeah, I think I like the beginning and the end are my
Oh,
favorites
so
right
yeah,
now.
because they're definitely, I feel like the middle part is Back to You, and that's like kind of where I broke it up. You know,
Yeah,
it's like this, and then Back to You breaks up to the next feeling of it. So I felt like, even though it's only 9 records, it's like 2 parts, you know?
mm-hmm. That's what I loved
So
about it.
yes, yes, it definitely is a vibe. And I'm just, you know, I'm excited to get into it and just shoot visuals and just do fun things. I just want to do dope things, you
Yeah.
know, things that I feel and things that I'm proud of at the end of the day. Because sometimes we get caught up in the music and with what's popular and what people love, and we wind up doing things that we don't love and that
Yeah.
we're not proud of years later, you know. So I just want to be proud of the shit that I do, you know, no matter how many people, even if you get into it 2 years from now, it's still there. You know, put
Yep.
out the work and it'll speak for itself. You know, time will tell. So
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I love that you didn't, because so many artists I feel from in my time, like the 2000s and 2010s, they all want
yes.
to match what's out today.
Oh
And it gets
yeah.
it's so boring. It's like, okay,
Uh,
the young kids are doing that already. Like, I
yeah,
want,
and
you know,
we
it's,
gotta be real with where we are in life, you know, and
yeah.
I'm not going to the clubs and partying and doing this. Like, yeah, I go out. Don't get me wrong. I'll go to a nice rooftop. I'll go to a lounge. But it's everything I'm looking for is a vibe. It's a feeling.
Yep.
It's a mood. And I'm not like, I'm not a teenager anymore, you know? So the music has
Mm-hmm.
to reflect where you are in life. And sometimes if your fans have grown with you, then they will understand that, you know?
Exactly.
And so sometimes people are looking for the old you, but I can't give you that because I'm not that. But that still lives. So if
Yeah.
you like that, yo, I'm not mad. It still was something that I go listen to it, you
Yeah.
know? It all counts. But this is who I am today, you know, and I can only be real with myself. So
Yeah, that's what I love that you did. Like you didn't replicate what's, you know, all that mumbling music today. Like it's just
yeah,
it's for the young kids today. Where
yeah,
me, I'm like,
and it's cool because sometimes we hear it and it's like, oh, I like this one. Oh, this is cool, and this is, you know, I have a 12-year-old daughter, you know,
oh, so
so
you know.
yes, I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I hear it all. So,
Yeah.
but it's like sometimes I find myself asking her, "What do you like? What do you?" And then I'm like, "Am I doing this to 12-year-olds? I'm gonna stop asking you what you like." You know? So sometimes she'll be like, "Oh no, I want you to rap more." Because you know she likes all the female rappers now and all this. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "All right, baby, maybe on the next project, but this one, I gotta feel it how I feel it, you know." And
Yeah.
I think that it's definitely just being, just and catering to the people that are in your who you want to party with, who do you want to be around. You don't want to, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we are where we are today. We're grown, we're good. We could pay our own bills. We could do this. So it's like when we go out and party, we want a good time.
Exactly.
We want a good time. We want to feel good, and we're not getting crazy like that.
Yeah, it's a whole
Because
different. It's just different today.
yes,
It's kind
yes,
of scary
exactly.
that it was just 10 years ago it was like that, and now it's 10 years later, and we're like, whoa, it's
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I know when to stop drinking.
yeah, no two-day hangover. I can't handle
Exactly,
it.
like I know when to chill now, so
Yeah, a
definitely.
couple drinks in and I'm done. I can't. I can't do it. Um,
Yes. Well, I'm glad we're doing this because you have been reaching out,
yeah,
yes, and I've been, yeah, they've been letting me know, and that's why I was like, yes, if there's any time to do it, it's now. We have
yeah,
something to
that's
talk
right.
about.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, perfect time. Well, that's what I want to ask you next. With the 9 tracks, which
yes.
was the first track you made, and what
Okay.
was the last track you made?
Oh, good question. Okay.
Hmm.
So there's the songs in Mike Streets were, created in 2017.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So they were updated, obviously. We refreshed them, we added some new stuff and everything. But so those were the first records, but the record that started this project was Addicted. Addicted was the first
Yes.
record me and Eve did, and then after I was like, let's do a project. I
Yeah.
was like, let's do a project. And he's like, let's go, let's do it. So yeah, that was the first one. Addicted was the first that was done for the project. And the last one was Fuck All Your Worries.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Fuck All
Fuck
Your
All Your
Worries was the
Worries is
last one.
dope. That's
Yeah.
another. Yeah. It's a vibe. That song too. Like.
Yeah. So that is definitely it's like it's weird because it's like just celebrating life and just letting go, because we're here today. Be thankful for the days we have here, and some shit is just not that important,
Yeah.
to be holding on
Real
to.
talk.
So that's pretty much what it is. But wrapped up in a song that you could feel good about and vibe to. Is not all dramatic and shit,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Like, but what would you
Yes.
say? I know artists sometimes you're really hard on yourself. So what
Yes.
would you say was the track that you were like, let me go back on that. Let me tweak
Ooh.
that. Which track were you like you were putting too much in because you just wanted to critique it the most? And which one was the easiest? Like it was like kind of like a one and done. Like, yo, it's perfect, leave it alone.
Okay. Back to You, I was hard on.
Okay.
That one I was hard on because I just it was like the prettiest record, and it was soft, and it was very, so I almost felt like it didn't fit, but then I'm like, when I let people hear it, they're like, yeah, but these be the tracks on albums that people love. It's like not
Yeah.
that it's an album filler, but it's the track that people like, oh, I really love this one. Like she never put it out as a single, but it's the one I go to. So I just kept tweaking it because I felt like the hook could be bigger since the hook was so simple. So I definitely was messing with Back to You all the way to the end. I even hit Eve and I was like, Eve, I think this is just like an interlude. And he was like, it's not an interlude, it's a song. I was trying every which way to kind of almost scratch it, but it made the cut, and I'm glad that it did. So
Okay.
that was, I think I really went in on Back to You, like going back and forth. And on I think the one that was kind of a little bit time was like done after we did it, right?
Okay.
The only thing we messed with was the whoop, 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 whoop,
Okay.
whoop, whoop, whoop. Those things. I was like, it's off, but it's on. And then when we put it like on point, it didn't feel the same. So it was just like we kept messing with those things back and forth. But I mean, ultimately, to just leave it to where it is a little off, but it's a feeling,
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think time was maybe the easiest one to report overall, besides that little part, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
love it though. Like it's dope to hear that because I always love hearing, especially I feel like, you know, artists at one point we didn't get to hear a lot about the music. We just seen you
Oh yeah.
all on, Good Morning America or some like 106
Oh
in
wow,
Park
yeah.
or you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't hear from you all. Like we didn't
Yes.
know. It was more like even quick meet and greets, a quick CD signing, and that's it. Like you didn't
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
from the
And the music is
artists.
out. So now, yeah, it's like now this kind of connection is fucking awesome, right? Like
Yeah,
you can do this from anywhere now and you could connect with people, and even if people don't get to catch this today, it could be up somewhere and they could see it later. It's just like this instant connection with people is an amazing thing, even though sometimes people do get spoiled with it because they feel, a lot of people I think give too much and
yeah,
then like too much personal life and then wonder why they get attacked or why they get judged on things. And it's like some things are just for you as far as with your personal life. But when it comes to the music and the process and what people love about you and the core of who you are, I think your fans should know that. You
exactly.
know,
I couldn't
like
agree with you more on that. Like,
yes, yes. Like the core of who you are and what you represent and what's meaningful to you. Like, yeah, you should definitely, people should know that because listen, we love a lot of, like, I'm a fan of music.
yeah,
So I learned early on to not put our music heroes as real heroes. Don't get infatuated with them. Love their music, but because sometimes it'd be a disappointment when you meet people.
big time. But they're
It
people.
happens.
They're
Yeah,
people. Like
it
people
happens,
get that
and maybe you
twisted.
catch them on a bad day, and they're not giving you the best person, the best version of themselves, because that can happen also. But we build people up in our minds sometimes, and then when we meet them, it's not that, and we're mad. But it's that kind of a thing. We built it up. We did that ourselves. You know what
Ex-
I mean? Like you do it to yourself. So if you love the music, ultimately, just love the music. Like
exactly.
sometimes all this personal shit that you need to know about somebody's man and how they cheating and who had a like. It's just like, is it for everybody? No. Do you
No,
love
and
the
that's
music?
their
Do you love?
personal business.
Yes.
That's
And that's what the social media did. It kind of, people want to share their lives, and I think it's great to an extent. You
yeah.
know?
Well, that's what I want to ask you. Like, because you really got to see the transition from,
Oh wow.
buying physical CDs to now
Yo.
today. I miss
Yeah.
it because I remember buying Almost Famous and reading,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Reading who produced it, reading who wrote it, reading
Yeah.
where it was mastered and where it was recorded at. Like,
Oh my
and the
God. So you really
photos.
did. That's awesome. You are a fan
Yeah.
of music for real. For real.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I would say like I would have to sometimes buy another CD because the booklet was so like flimsy from looking at the lyrics or you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like we don't get
Yeah.
that like kids don't know that today.
Yeah.
It's it's all just at their
No,
disposal,
it's
you
true.
know?
And the thank yous and all that. Yes.
Yeah, but
Like
how
it.
was it for you? Like to see the transition from literally, a CD or a cassette, because some people
Yeah.
cassettes were out too at that time,
Yeah,
just a
I
little.
mean, we were always CDs. It was CDs, but cassettes were just a thing before.
Yep.
So I mean, I've definitely felt like I've seen every stage of it. And although it's amazing, I think it makes you for me, I just don't feed into a lot of shit just because I'm like, listen, I know what it takes, and right now you guys be so going crazy for certain things, and it's like it wasn't as easy. That's what I have to
Yeah.
say. Back in the days, it wasn't as easy, and you wasn't able to defend yourself the way we can now. When somebody says something, you could come right back out and say, well, it ain't that. What is this? You had to wait for a magazine to come out, for an
Hmm.
interview. You had to wait for a whole press release. It was like this whole thing. And then the record company would tell you, well, you can't talk about this, or you can't mention this. So it was very restricted, and the artists couldn't even talk about their real lives or say they were in relationships. So seeing where it is now, I mean, although where it's great, it's kind of like, I think it's very easy, and everybody thinks it's just like a given, like, oh, I could just be an artist overnight, and which they can't.
Which
It's
is
fun
kind of
to,
scary. It's kind of
yes,
scary.
it's like, which they can, they can. But I think, bro, when I came out, it was brutal for me. It
Yeah.
wasn't that, like, yeah, I had this record that was huge, but they put me through the ringer. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh, you're a one-hit wonder, or you're this, or you're not talented. I heard everything that it could be, but I know where I come from. I know, that I'm cut from a whole nother cloth. So it's
Yeah.
like, you can't break me. Like, you can't break me, and I really mean this. Nobody's
Yeah.
giving me this. Nobody's telling me to do this. Nobody's saying, oh, you got the image. Here you go. It's like, no, this comes from me. So as much as you may think this is not for me, it is. This is mine.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
maybe I'm not, the strongest vocalist out there, but listen, there's girls out there that's going to relate and that's going to connect. There's girls, there's boys, there's people out there in the world, that are going to connect to this. And I'm glad that, I stood in it. There's times that I got discouraged and shit like that. But, like I said, I didn't have it as easy as these kids do today.
They have it too easy.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy. And now it's like, yo, you come up with anything that's catchy enough, and it's like, whoa, go,
Yeah.
and, which is great. But, it's no more paying dues. Back in the days, they used to say you got to pay your dues. And that's the shit
That's what I miss.
Yes. That's the shit I used to constantly hear. You haven't paid your dues. You haven't just hit, but you ain't pay your dues. What? I did. I don't know. Within that year, I did probably like 1,500 shows. I was like, yo, let's go. I'm paying dues.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask you though too. Like, how does it feel? Because everyone that has their first single that puts them on the map,
Yeah.
half of the time they have not wrote it. It's usually written for them and produced by someone they don't even know. They're just given the track. But knowing that you wrote, on Never Leave You, like, what does that feel like being when you were a new artist and having those writing credentials? Because hey, writing's where it's at. That's where the money's at. Yeah. That's where the residuals.
Listen, I've learned to respect Never Leave You, because Never Leave You I'm still getting paid for Never Leave You. It still comes in. Look, people are using it 2 days still. I'm clearing things constantly for people using, the record. So it's a blessing, and I'm just glad that I took, it was like this gift and this curse of me getting sick early in life, kind of, and it kind of made me have to stand still and just express my feelings. And that's when the writing came, and being able to use that as a skill that kind of just drove me through life. And this is why I'm doing this now. Like, and then being able to write a record that then the whole fucking world started singing, it was amazing to me. It's like I visioned it, but then when it happened, I was like, I can't believe this shit. I really can't believe this shit. And then at the time, and then I wrote the song about a boyfriend, so it's like, what the fuck? Like, this is a real feeling I was feeling of us going back and forth, and like, so it's just, I mean, it's great. It's great when it comes from a real place, and it just and it works, and there's no formula that you're following. Before it's like, oh, you gotta follow the formula to a hit, or you gotta do this because this makes a hit. I didn't know what the fucking hit was. I really didn't. I was that naive. I didn't even know. I just knew records that I liked, and I didn't know that I was supposed to make a hit. It just happened.
Yeah.
It happened. Yeah.
That's all. And one thing, I always defend you so much because it's you and one other artist that did this first. That I don't remember no one else doing it. And people are like, no, Drake did it first. I was like, no, Olivia and Lumidee did the whole singing and rapping.
Boom.
I remember that. That was you were the two artists that always stood out to me. And and the one thing I liked about both of you both did it, like you would sing and then you would rap on the same track. Because at first I would be like, hold on, is someone featured? And then I was like, because you didn't hear that before. It wasn't you always had a feature of a rapper, or it was a rap song, you had a feature of a songstress. You didn't have the bulk. Like, how did that feel being one of the first? Because you were.
I mean, I'm thank you for saying that. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got a lot of shit for that too. People were like, you got to pick a lane. You can't do both. And I even got that up to even in 2011. People were still telling me that, and then I'm like, hold up. There's Nicki Minaj out here singing and rapping, and y'all playing. Why do I gotta pick a lane? I've been doing this shit, like, so I think it's just people just willing to accept that you can do multiple things, and you could. So I mean, I feel good that at least there are some people out there that know, you know, like there was the girls was out here doing this, you
Yeah,
know,
use
and
word.
Olivia definitely was one of the first ones also. I do remember that, you know, I do remember hearing her album and it's like, yes, this is what I'm talking about, you know? So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so you tapped in, you know.
Yeah, it's so weird
Yeah.
because people are like, oh, Drake did it first. I'm like, Drake did not do it first. He
I mean, it's Drake is Drake, you know, so it's
exactly
a
he's
popularity,
talented. I'm not
of
saying
course,
that, but it's
but
just he wasn't the
you know how
first.
it is. It's like it's that thing where it's always whoever does it and who's bigger
Yeah,
and who it reaches more. You know, it's like the popularity contest. Like somebody can have a whole look on and somebody bigger than them wears it. Oh wow, look at her style. It's awesome. But she could have took it from the girl down the block. You know, like, oh wow, she created a whole new, you know, a whole new trend. But it ain't, you know, it comes from somewhere. You
yeah,
know, the inspiration, at least the inspiration comes from somewhere. Not
yeah,
that it's
definitely.
necessarily a copy, but people get inspired, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way I feel it happens throughout music and
Yes. This
art.
is how music continues to evolve. You get inspired by what other people are doing. And not that you do it, but you take a little and make it your own, and then you wind up creating your own thing, you know? So
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I want to ask one more question previous, and I want to go back to 1013. But I want to ask
okay.
you, off your second album, when you
Mhm.
released She's Like the Wind, were you
Oh yeah.
nervous because you were rapping on it majority,
Yes,
and
yes.
it was a remake from Patrick Swayze? Like,
Oh
how was that feeling?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it was done and it was supposed to be really just for overseas. You know, I spent so much time overseas and doing things
Mm-hmm.
overseas and doing records that was specifically just for out there, you know. So I thought it was just gonna be for over there. And you know, my manager over here just started kind of pushing it to people out here and giving it to people. They started playing it in the clubs and it just grabbed a liking and it was like, oh, okay,
And
you know, and I wasn't sure because I know they had this idea to do the She's Like the Wind, and they wanted me to find a male vocalist, right? The
hmm
guys I was signed to, and I just so happened to bump into Tony Sunshine the week before that, and he was like, "Yo, when are we gonna work on something?" And bang, it was like Tony Sunshine. They were like, Chris Brown, you could get Chris Brown. We'll pay for Chris Brown. We'll pay for Omarion. We'll pay for, you know, because at that moment, that was it.
that
So
was it. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that would be awesome. But dang, I just seen Tony Sunshine and maybe we could, you know, and I'll be honest, at first, they were like, this is not going to work because y'all both Latinos. You're two
Oh,
Puerto Ricans
really?
on the record. And I think
That's
you
so
should have.
whack.
Yes. So I was like, that shit made me even be like, oh no, this is
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna. Yes, Tony. Hey, what's going on? You really fucking was like when they were like, oh no, two Latinos, that's not gonna work for the pop market, for the urban market, and that fucked with me. That got me tight, and it was like, okay. And I've always been up for the challenge. Like when people fuck with me, and it's like, not that I need to prove you wrong, but I'm just gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna do it
Mm-hmm.
though, you know, like so. And then Tony on it, I was like, there's really no, you know, I added little singing parts, but I was like, he got this. I'm just gonna go off, and I'm gonna be like the aggressive one on this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, cause he's giving you all these pretty vocals, so let me come through with like the aggressive vocal, the rap verse and all that. So I was just happy that it went the way it did. I wasn't expecting it. That I
Yeah.
definitely I wasn't expecting it. It was a great thing, you know. It was great to come back with that and to kind of be that it was two Latinos on this record and to make a record like She's Like the Wind from Dirty Dancing by Patrick Swayze
Right?
and flip that shit to where the point that people like, yo, it's a lot of people I see, they're like, yo, that's my favorite fucking record. You know,
Yeah.
and some of them are not aware that this is from Dirty Dancing.
Right? Yeah.
You know, this is a Tony Sunshine Lumidee record. They don't know nothing about Patrick Swayze. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
I
how
think
did yeah, I mean I love what you did with that and I love how it was your first track on that out like the first single off that album and
yes,
just you both killed it. But
yes.
one thing I love that you really did too with 1013 with Freya, you did the English and Spanish
The
because
Spanish, yeah.
yeah, the Spanglish. Like it's funny because today we're hearing full-on Spanish songs on
Yes.
top 10 radio, which
Yeah.
10 years ago, that was like, no, you have to cross over. If you don't cross over,
Exactly.
you're not going to
Yes.
make it.
Yeah.
So how dope is it to see Latinos like like we're literally on every single radio station, I feel.
Yeah.
We're
And it doesn't
taking
matter
over.
if it's Z100 and they'll play a whole Spanish record.
Yeah,
You know?
I never thought I
Yeah.
would see that day, ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's amazing. It's amazing. It's a blessing because before it's like you have to, Mark Anthony has to put out an English album to cross over. You know what I mean? The Ricky Martins and like they literally had to do English albums, which were great records. We got good records out of that,
Yeah.
But it's like you said, you had to cross over to get that, and now it's like it's undeniable. That's what it is. When it gets to that point, now it's a numbers game, right? We're in that world. So it's like, ooh, the Latinos is killing it. They're on fire. They're getting the most numbers. That's it. We putting this in. It doesn't matter if you don't know what they're saying. It feels good and it's a hit. That's it. So it's definitely that time now. Now it's just about, it's the numbers thing. Whatever's winning, that's it. They're throwing it in there.
Yeah.
Listen, there's super vulgar records that are on the radio and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And why? Because it's popular and it's getting crazy streams and they want to, you know what I mean? They have to move with the times and stay current. So, and there's these shit that I'm like in the car with my kid and I'm like, yo, what the this is on the radio?
Right? Because it would
Like,
never been 10 years ago. It would have never, ever.
No, like, and it'll be like the hook is saying all this foul shit. Before you had to bleep everything.
Yeah.
Now they slide way too many things. Way too much things. Like, but what you gonna do? We're living in that time. That's why, I curse, but it's never really vulgar.
Yeah.
I mean?
You just, yeah,
it's
I
not,
get what you're saying.
yeah, and ultimately, like I said, I'm not doing music for kids, but I just want to do something that, for me personally, that years from now, when my kid hears it, and even now, I have a 12-year-old, she's not going to be ashamed of it or feel like, damn, my mom was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I want her to feel proud of the things that I've done, and I just want and be able to play it in front of her and feel good about it.
Yeah. So was that important for you though, for Freya, to have Spanish in it? Like, did you say like, hey, I want to track with some Spanish because, like we were saying, it's a new trend. It's the way of
Freya
life.
happened completely by mistake.
It was
like,
okay.
Yes, it was by mistake. Shout out to my boy Jason. He came over to the crib and we were recording. And we just, he come through with beats and we just be like vibing and we were recording and I just like I had took an edible, right? I don't smoke, but I do enjoy edibles here and there, right? So, and I was just like feeling like, oh, I want to say whatever the fuck comes to my head. So I was like, okay, put that beat on, right? I go in the booth and I just start talking this shit. And then he's like, and I was like, do I sound stupid? And he's like, no, this shit is not funny. Go ahead, like keep going, like go ahead. So we just finished that first verse, and I had the first verse for I want to say like a year. I had the first verse for a year, and I was like, I'm never gonna do nothing with this. This is stupid. This is like I'm talking about, like you bad son, you be looking good on the gram, son. Like it was just so it was fun, But then like a couple people I let hear it, and shout out to my boy Divine. Like he's always with the Spanglish and the Spanish, and he was like, I like when you talk to the guys. I like this, He was like, this is dope. Like you should finish this. So he came up with a hook for it. So this hence the that hook that's on there, and I was like, okay, so that means I got to do another verse. So I got to finish this. So that's what happened, and we had a whole nother beat on it. Eve came in, and we flipped it. And bang, this is what it was. So it all kind of happened like stumbling upon it. Like, are we going to really do this? Are we going to really do this? And I love the way it ultimately came out, Like, it's just, and it feels like very global, because the music and all the sounds that Eve used are very worldly sounds,
Yeah, no, y'all killed it on that track. Like,
yeah, and then it's fun, and you talking shit, and sometimes this is how we be feeling about our men or our significant others, it's like, I'm gonna just let you know that I'm that bitch, and I can take you out, and I can put you back. I can send you, like, you want to play yourself? All right, you know, like.
I
So
love it.
it was fun. You know, I had fun doing that record, definitely.
Yeah, it was super dope. And the one thing I love that you did with the album, you didn't put out like a single. It was
Oh
like you
no,
put the
yeah,
body of work
that's it.
first. So
Yes.
have you thought about what you want to make
What
the
is,
official single yet?
I know. I'm like,
Are you
I don't
torn?
want to make it. It's so hard. But I do love. Yeah, that was my thing. I couldn't decide, and then I was like, I just want everybody to hear it collectively together. You know, so they could kind of even understand what I'm doing. Because sometimes you may choose a single that doesn't represent the whole project, but when they hear it,
Hmm.
in, you know, so right now, I say Freya is a great candidate. You know, Freya is, because I know that's going to be a fun ass video. It's
Yeah.
like, that would definitely be a fun video. So I'm thinking it's between Freya and, okay, I got four,
Okay.
right? Okay, so it's Freya, Addicted, Fuck All Your Worries, and Let Me Know. Those are, to me, I could see really good visuals for. And
Okay.
Time is, but I say that to say this. I don't know if this is going to be one of your questions, but I'm going to just say Time is my favorite record, though, on the project.
Time, I think, is my favorite song out of the whole project too. Like, because I
Really?
see Addicted,
Yes.
Time, and Freya, I could see as three
But,
singles,
okay.
100%. Because what I really like that you did, and I'm sure this wasn't even on purpose. You know
Yeah.
how before everyone that had an album out, the first song was usually like the first single, the second
Yes.
song is
Yes.
usually like the second single. I could
Yes.
definitely see like Addicted, the first single, Time, the second
Mine was
single,
second.
and then
That, I
the
mean,
third
yeah.
single, whatever, in
Yes.
between.
Wow.
So
So yeah, you super focused, because I was thinking like that. I'm not gonna lie. In making the project, I was like, to me, these are like the two. I felt they were the strongest records. You know,
yes.
for single potential. You know, because
Hmm.
they speak for themselves. You know, like they don't have to be part of a project. They could stand alone. So, yeah. I mean, Time to me, it's my favorite. It has so many layers, and it's taking you on a trip. You know, and
Yeah.
it makes me emotional and shit. It makes me feel good, but it makes me cry.
Yeah,
It's
because the
like,
words are meaningful, but the
yes,
vibe is so dope at the same time with the music and the
yes,
sounds. Like y'all killed
yeah,
that song.
yes.
Like I
Thank you,
said, that's
thank
my
you.
favorite off the album for sure. Like
Okay,
I'd say top, I
I'm
would say.
happy. I'm glad that is, because I was like, yo, people are sleeping on Time. You know, I'm
No, I
asking them
like
like, yeah,
Time. Time
yes,
is
that's good,
hot.
that's good,
Like I said, it's
that's
the
good.
first two. That's what it reminded me of. Like, and I'm happy it was like that because it brought me back to that's how albums used to be. Now
Yes,
songs are like so intertwined, you don't know which is the single, and like the
yes.
first song is like an intro or just an opener. It's not
Well,
the
that's
official single.
mission accomplished, because I guess everything that you're giving me and you're telling me, these are the things we thought about. You know, it was like, we want this to feel like one, you know, and at the same
Hmm.
time, yeah, like you caught it completely. Like, not that I'm trying to do anything from back in the days, but this is when we really loved albums, right?
Yeah,
So it's about albums, not singles or hits.
complete
It's about
body of work.
albums.
Yeah,
And remember, you would live with that. You know, there's artists today that I listen to that I hear their whole projects because I love them. Like even new artists like St. John. I love St. John. You know, Nayo, I think she's amazing. Like I listen to the whole projects. And
hmm,
to me, anything could be a single because I just love it all. The you know, the project just takes you on that ride and it's like you're there.
yeah,
So I think I'm glad that we got to you get that feeling from it. So that's awesome.
yeah. Well, no, I want a couple more questions. I want to wrap it up because I know you're busy. I know
Yeah.
you got a lot going on, but I want to ask you:
Yeah.
have you thought about? Because I know we don't have them anymore, but have you thought about releasing like a limited edition set vinyl or
Yes.
CD?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought about, I think this will be great. Well, actually, on Amazon, you can get a CD of this. You can
Oh,
get
it
a CD.
is.
Yes, I
Oh, I
didn't
need to cop
know,
that right
but
after.
I believe you can. Look, wait. I'm
Uh,
not sure. I might check. But I know I had dropped a single called Always, right? This was like
yeah.
2 years ago. And I just looked. I was like, let me just see, right? And I bought the CD. on Amazon. They package it for you for $10. And it's it was just a single. So I don't know if they do that with albums, but it's something they package. Amazon does it themselves. So it's pretty cool.
That's
you
dope.
know?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know if they do that with all record, I'm sure they do it with a bunch of artists, because if I found that on there, I was like, oh, this is pretty random. I'm gonna get it and see if it plays. I even had to buy a CD player because I didn't have a CD player. I was like, well, while I order that, let me order a CD player.
It's so funny you say that because you don't know how many CDs I bought just to support artists, but I don't have a CD player. I don't.
No, I bought a little boombox, a cute little boombox, like.
That's why I need to buy one because I have cassettes too I bought and I don't have nowhere to play. I need to buy like a boombox with a cassette player.
And you feel so good listening to it. It's just so dope, because it does take you back, and that's how I feel with vinyls. Like I have a record player and I collect vinyls, and I actually have Almost Famous on vinyl. I put it on vinyl when I did the 15-year anniversary. I have put it on vinyl, and I have a bunch in my closet. You send me your address, I will send it to you. I'll send you Almost Famous vinyl. Yes.
Okay. So I'm definitely hit you up.
Yes. I'll send you that. But I think vinyl would be a great idea. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I would do it. I think I would do it like a collector's, a limited edition for yeah. Why the hell not? Like I said, I want to just do dope things and things that are fun and things that people who appreciate it, could tap into and would, it's for the people who want it,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's just needed, I feel like, because it's everything's coming back, which is crazy. Like vinyls are like the top seller right now, more than CDs.
Like
that blows my mind.
Was in my comments and they were like, put this on CD, girl. And I was like, is she playing with me or is she serious? I didn't know if it was a joke. I was like, is this a shot or is she serious? I don't know.
Yeah, right?
But I was like, she's probably serious. She probably serious. Like, that should be tripping me out. But I listen to people in the comments sometimes when I've gotten that, put it on vinyl and things like that. So, you got to listen to the people who are listening to you, right? Like they're actually tuned into you. So not that I'm going to do everything people tell me to, but I do listen to certain things and I take it into consideration for sure,
Yeah. And another thing that you always done that I loved since the beginning of your career to now, your elements of music and genres and sounds is so diverse. Like that's one thing I liked about you over the years. You drop singles, you drop mixtapes. They were always so different. You never boxed yourself in. How important is that to you to always just keep it like you said, something you like and not necessarily what the majority everyone else?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a struggle. Like I'm not gonna say it's not hard to be yourself, but sometimes in letting people hear it right after you do it, sometimes you don't get the reactions, right? Because they're like, you need to do things like this. And then they'll play you a current record, right? And you're like, okay. It's like, that is that already. Why do I have to do that? That lives already. I have to do what I do. And at the same time, yes, you evolve and your sound changes and it gets, stronger and you're speaking about different things. So not that my sound won't evolve, and, but I think how could I say this? It's a struggle not listening to people, even sometimes the people around you, because I play something and then I feel like I'm not getting enough reaction, right? But then once the project comes out and they sit with it, they're like, yo, this is crazy. You really body this. And it's like, I played all this shit for you, right? In my mind, I'm like, I played this shit. And you wasn't really acting like this, So sometimes you just got to listen to your gut feeling and be true to yourself. Because once you're true to yourself, nothing anybody says could faze you, straight up. Because trying to fake the funk, trying to do things to please people, you'll wind up disappointing yourself at the end. Because you can't live up to something that's not really you. It's hard. And do you really want to win being fake? Not being yourself? No, you want to win. Being genuine, being who you are. So that's what's important to me. And I grew up listening to all types of music. So it's hard, you know, when people be like, what do you do? And I'm like, you know, I rap, I sing, I write, but oh, do you do reggaeton? You do like I'll do a little Latin, I'll do Caribbean. It's
Yeah.
everywhere, you know. But at the end of the day, it's all me, and it doesn't. I'm never trying to be something else, you know.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about you. I've always seen that with you. Like you've always kept it what you wanted, and I've never seen you box yourself in because so many artists I feel box themselves in for, like you said, their team telling them or their label telling them what to do or what they
Yeah.
should do, and it's like it gets
Mhm.
old after a while. Like
Yeah, and the shit is ultimately, yo, we have one life. We gotta be happy, and we
for
gotta
real.
make the right choices. You know, that's what I realized. Like, it's all about the choices. And sometimes you put something out there, yeah, you can take it down, but once you kind of, you know, create this image of yourself, it's hard to take that back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some people are not so forgiving sometimes. They won't let you get a do-over. So when you do it, you know, be you. That's it.
yeah, definitely. Well, you know, it's crazy though that we're more than halfway through the year.
Yeah.
So, you know, you dropped the project 1013. Everyone, it's out right now. Go download it,
Yes,
stream it,
yes,
purchase
yes.
it. What do you have any performances do you think are going to come up soon? Like what are in the plans for the
Oh,
rest of the year?
well, I mean, good thing is people are hitting me up for shows and everything. I am a little kind of like because I want to create the show for this, you
Okay.
know, and I just don't want the confusion of people booking me the way they used to, you know, like thinking they're gonna get that show. Even though, listen, I will perform Never Leave You till the day I die. Okay, so don't think that I'm not gonna perform Never Leave You. I will always do it. So, you know, like that's not gonna happen. But as far as the shows that I was doing before, you know, I have to incorporate these records in there now, you know, and create the new show and the new sound. And I want people to, so I kind of want people to live with this a little bit, and then, you know, I'm gonna start hitting you with some visuals and some performances that I'm gonna put out there that I put together, you know, and then we'll go with the shows. But I'm not so jumpy on the shows at the moment because I want
Okay.
people to live with the music, you
Okay.
know. I want them to live with the music and yeah, and then create the show around that, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that vibe. Because listen, my show was energetic and I'm jumping around stage and I'm hype and all that. And we can have that moment for a little while, but not
Yeah.
the whole while. Not like
Right?
I used to. That's not what I'm, not today, you know? Unless
Yeah.
maybe for 2 tracks we could do that, you know? But
Yeah.
this is more like, yo, let's get in that, you know, more grown and sexy.
Definitely. No, they need to get you one show that I seen that I thought of you right because I was looking. I was like, okay, they got almost everyone on here. They had a few names, and you were one of them. Have you seen the Lovers and Friends Festival?
That was in Friends Festival.
Have you seen that lineup? You belong in that
No.
lineup. It's in
I belong in that
Vegas.
lineup, yeah.
You belong in the lineup. When I say
Okay.
it is everyone that we both love,
Okay.
it is like the headliners. I think is Lauryn Hill, Usher, Ludacris, TLC. I mean, it's
Oh.
SWV, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, Jadakiss, Baby
Oh.
Bash, Frankie J.
Oh. Oh.
It's
Okay.
it's literally going to be a 2-day festival. It's in Vegas next year in May. It was supposed to be last year in LA. I had a
Yeah.
ticket. They canceled
Okay.
it, and I got refunded. And now they moved
Oh.
it to Vegas for next year, and it's 2 days
Lovers
now.
and Friends.
Lovers and Friends Festival, yeah, and it's like
You might be
TLC.
onto something. I'm gonna have to holler at somebody like, "What's up?
You
Give
got you
me,
got to be
give
on
me a
there.
sec. Just give me 5 minutes."
Yeah,
Like,
like because it's gonna be
but
it's
it's so
literally
many people.
like
I'm sure
50
people are
people.
doing short stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to be on that because I was like, yo,
Okay.
it's
No,
you got
yeah.
to check it out.
Okay, as the names went out, I see it. I see it. I get. Okay.
I'm gonna send you the flyer after and show you what the
Okay.
lineup is like. It's yeah, you got to be on
Okay.
there. Like I thought of you,
All right.
but
Okay. We may
yeah,
be in Vegas then. Why not?
right,
Right?
yeah. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time. If you do anything in August, let me know because I'm gonna be in New York. When am I going to New York? August 19th through the 24th. I'm
Oh,
coming.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
going
right.
to the
August
Apollo.
19th to the 24th.
Yeah, I'm
That's
coming to
it,
New
right on
York.
the, we're in August already, so that's right around the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
August
know.
19th. That's funny. Yeah, I have a brother and a cousin. That's their birthday.
Oh,
They're
dope.
Leos. Yes.
Yeah, so if you do anything, let me know. I'll definitely come and
Yes.
support, check you out, anything.
Oh, that'd be great. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll definitely hit you up. Yeah.
yeah, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like, I'm so
Well, thank
excited for the new
you.
project, like, and
Thank
for
you. Thank
everyone to
you.
hear it.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to do this. It was great. It was great. I'm
Yeah.
glad, yes, we finally got to do it. We knocked it out, and yeah, the project is out there, and there's more to come. So we'll see what's the next single. But visuals are on the way. I will be shooting visuals. Yes.
Dope, dope. Well,
Okay.
Lumidee, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
And
You too.
yeah, definitely talk
And
soon. I
take care.
appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Peace.
Bye.